Okay, so where are we at? Well, we're at the Louisville Metro Department of Corrections. And one of their officers was arrested on multiple criminal charges. You don't say. Louisville, Kentucky. An officer at Louisville Metro Department of Corrections has been arrested on multiple criminal charges. And that's her right there. Officials say the officer, Kanita Freeman, is accused of helping a man escape after a robbery and shooting. Freeman turned herself in on Wednesday, February 5th, and has been placed on HIP. That's house incarceration, house something. She's in her house. For charges of facilitation of assault and facilitation of burglary, according to the Louisville Metro Department of Corrections. According to the arrest documents, Freeman was a getaway driver for a man named Marquise Barnes, who had allegedly just robbed and shot a man on Southland Boulevard on January 4th. She then allegedly drove the man back to her home, which is how police connected her to the crime. Department of Corrections said Freeman was placed on administrative leave pending the outcome of the investigation. Freeman and Barnes are now both in police custody and facing multiple charges. Freeman will make her first appearance in court on Thursday. So when I read this, I thought to myself, this was 2 weeks ago. We're at, I put about, the 8th? Let's see what this says. Let's see if this answers any questions.
Right now, wave troubleshooters have learned that an officer at a Louisville Metro Corrections has been arrested on multiple criminal charges.
The officer's accused of helping a man escape after a robbery and shooting. Ward Jollis joins us now with the latest.
John Myra, the officer's name is Kanita Freeman. LMDC has confirmed to us that Freeman is a corrections officer. We just learned within the past 30 minutes that Freeman turned herself in and was just placed on HIP today, so that's some new information for you. That's for charges of facilitation of assault and facilitation of burglary. Arrest documents say Freeman was the getaway driver for a man named Marquise Barnes, who had allegedly just robbed and shot a man on Southland Boulevard back on January 4th. She then allegedly drove the man back to her home, which is how police connected her to the crime. LMDC tells us she was placed on administrative leave pending the outcome of the investigation. Freeman and Barnes have both now been arrested and face multiple charges. Freeman will make her first appearance in court sometime tomorrow morning. John Myra.
Thank you.
Right now.
Stop. So, yeah, house incarceration program or whatever that is. So still didn't answer the questions, did it? I know it didn't. There has to be more. There has to be more. Also, you can go to the government website and you can look anybody up if they're law enforcement. Anyone that works for government, you can go look them up. And according to their records, Kanita Freeman held one job in 2022. The records list of Department of Corrections, her pay was $45,760, which is 20.3% lower than the average pay for co-workers at 36.2%, lower than the national average for government employees. Well, she kind of knew that going into it. So, what else? I was hoping all this could pop up. Louisville Corrections officer arrested Wednesday had a prior arrest while with the Department of Corrections. They didn't know that? Pretty sure they did. Kanita Freeman was charged Wednesday with giving a suspect a ride to her house after he allegedly shot and robbed someone. This is just going to be the backstory again with a little extra. Louisville Corrections officer who was arrested Wednesday for allegedly aiding an armed robbery suspect has now been arrested twice while working for Louisville Metro Department of Corrections. And 0 people were surprised about this. Kanita Freeman is currently on unpaid administrative leave from Department of Corrections for her charges of facilitating robbery first degree and facilitating assault first degree. She secured a partial $10,000 bond Wednesday and is on home incarceration. She pleaded not guilty. Stop. Freeman was also arrested for a misdemeanor assault charge in April 2023. According to the court records, Freeman was charged with hitting her daughter in the face, resulting in scratching and swelling. She pleaded guilty to disorderly conduct second degree, also a misdemeanor. She was sentenced to 90 days in jail, but that sentence was suspended for 2 years as long as she didn't reoffend. And here we are again. Punishment needs to fit the crime. She slapped her daughter in the face. Now, it doesn't say how old her daughter is, but that doesn't matter. Department of Corrections Major Jason Logston confirmed Freeman was a corrections officer in April 2023. Miss Freeman was employed as a Louisville Metro Department corrections officer during that time. She was administratively reassigned, and her peace officer status was suspended until the court proceeding concluded, Major Logston said. There's a chance Freeman will be forced to serve those 90 days even if she's not convicted in the new case. However, the Commonwealth hasn't mentioned for a revocation hearing yet in her 2023 case, and they probably won't, because you can't get rid of them. You cannot get rid of them. So that's where we're at, apparently, with that one. Except for this. I was hoping there'd be an ad.
Tonight at 6, we've learned the Louisville jail officer who was charged with aiding an armed robbery suspect was arrested once before, also while employed by Louisville Metro Corrections. Again, we're talking about Kanita Freeman tonight, now facing one charge of facilitating first-degree assault and one charge of facilitating first-degree robbery for allegedly picking up a shooting suspect on January 4th. Our focus reporter Travis Breeze is here right now with the new details, more information on both of Freeman's arrests now. Travis?
Doug, Kanita Freeman is currently on unpaid administrative leave for the charges she's facing this year. There is a chance she could get 90 days of jail time for a 2023 arrest where she pleaded to a misdemeanor charge.
For the record, we're pleading or not guilty. There's to be absolutely no contact with the co-defendants in this case.
LMDC Corrections Officer Kanita Freeman pleading not guilty in district court Wednesday. Court records say after a shooting and armed robbery at the Heritage Green Apartments off Southside Drive, Freeman picked up one of the defendants in her car after they ran off. Marquise Barnes has been arrested for the shooting. An LMDC spokesperson said Wednesday they immediately placed Freeman on unpaid administrative leave until the legal proceedings have been completed. There have been other legal proceedings during her time as a corrections officer. In April 2023, Freeman was charged with misdemeanor assault for hitting her daughter. She pleaded guilty to disorderly conduct and was given a conditional sentence of 90 days in jail, only to be enforced if she reoffended in 2 years. An LMDC major said Thursday Miss Freeman was employed as a corrections officer during that time. She was administratively reassigned and her peace officer status was suspended. There is a chance Freeman would be forced to serve those 90 days, even if she's not convicted in her new case, but there has not been a motion yet to revoke that conditional discharge from the 2023 case. In the studio, Travis Breeze, WHAS 11 on your side.
Thank you, Travis. I keep saying you can't get rid of them. You cannot get... I'm completely confused why when we hear stories like this, certifications, credentials, whatever they are, for this particular Department of Corrections, it said peace officer's license, aren't revoked, burnt, put in a shredder, and buried. I'm just saying. This is ridiculous. And they knew she had a criminal past. Well, it was a misdemeanor. Anytime you strike a child, it should not be a misdemeanor. Now, there's a difference between spanking and smacking her in the face. Enough to the point where she was charged for it, apparently. Yes, no. You should never hit children in the face. Anywhere. If you're going to discipline them, a spanking on the butt, that's one thing. I'm just saying. Anyway. Let me know what you think about this one. This is one of the least of the offenders that I have put up lately. But, yeah, let me know about this one in the comments. Also, again, 90% of people that watch these videos are not subscribed. You're right there at your computer. You got your phone in your hand right there. Just click the button and let me know what you think about this one. And I'm out.